I squile si nostalgia, pabalchmat and in Nahame, Kelly Hall, son of Snat, Wissa Amish sa us. Good day, respected friends and relatives. My ancestral name is Pabalchmat, my English given name is Kelly Hall, and I'm a Samish tribal member. And today on Wissa Amishkan, Samish language breakdown, we will talk about vowels. There are 5 vowels in Wissa Amishkan. Here you see them written in practical orthography, which is a writing system that I always use and our tribe adopted to write our language. They sound like this in the order I listed. So, a, e, and oo. For the most part, our vowels are more straightforward than English because the symbols you see almost always represent the sounds that I just demonstrated. There are some instances where you will hear something else, as in "ite," good, for example. But I will go over those examples another time. I'm explaining this because when you see English written, for example, like the word afraid, apple, ant, air, and awful, they all start with the letter A, but all use very different sounds that you're just supposed to know through exposure. Often when we see a Samish word written, the vowels will align with these 5 sounds, and in many ways that makes learning new words easier. So now let's take a look at each vowel. So A. This sound is A, or the way you would say apple in English. Say it with me. Ah, ah, ah. Ay, good. So an example of this word in Amishkan is ashla, 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 which means here. So next we have E. This sounds like or the vowel in up in English. So say it with me. Ay, good. An example of this word in Amishkan is alila, 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 which means salmonberry. This is a good word to practice because it has 2 us at the beginning and at the end. One thing I wanted to note is when you see a stress mark on any of the vowels, so for example, like E with a stress mark, this just means this vowel has more emphasis. So like within a word, it has more emphasis. So here are 2 examples. Anoch, which means stop. So you hear the emphasis on the first E versus anoch, which means bring. And the emphasis is on the second E. So pay attention to that. Some words like this one have like a different meaning where the emphasis is placed, which is important to know. Some words that's not the case. But if you see with any of the vowels an accent mark, it's just meaning you place more emphasis on that vowel. So next we have I. This sounds like E, or the way you would say eat in English, the EA, eat in English. Say it with me. E, E, E. Ay, good. So an example of this word in Samishkan is Islan, 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 which means to eat. Next we have O. This is the sound ah, like what you would say at the doctor's office when they ask to see in your throat, ah, or how you would say the name Oscar in English. Say it with me 3 times. Ah, ah, ah. Ay, good. An example of this word in Samishkan is open, 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 which means 10. And finally, we have oo. This is the U, ooh. So it sounds like ooh. It sounds like the OO in tooth in English, or boo as we're entering spooky season. So say it with me 3 times. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ay, good. So an example of this word in Samishkan, the U is often like in borrowed words, but here's one word that we do have it. So tlutla, 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 which means small. So let's practice each of the vowel sounds one more time together. So a, e, a, oo. So if you practice these 5 sounds and look at written words and sound them out, you will have a solid foundation for writing and reading vowels in Samish language. Good work today, and hauska I langnuchsensa. That's it at Ost Tauchs Amishkin. Thank you, and see you next time on Learn Samish Language.